Shalom, shalom. This week's Parsha is Parshat Vayikra. We are starting a new Sefer. Yay. And it right away hits you with a question, which I never seem to get past when I'm giving Dvar Torah because it fascinates me. It totally fascinates me that the Parsha begins with the word Vayikra, and he called. And there's a small Aleph, as you see on my screen there. The word appears, all letters in Torah are basically the same size font except for a few. And every time that there's one that's either smaller or bigger when it occurs, it's really calling your attention to learn something that I think is crucial, vital, and that we have a lot to learn from. And this small aleph, there's many Divrei Torah I heard about it. One that I haven't heard, but that an idea that came across to me and that I think really resonates with the entire concept of the Mishkan and who Moshe was and what we really need to learn from all of this. I will tell you, and you let me know what you think. So it is this. Aleph stands for really Hakadosh Baruch Hu, God, Hashem, and when they say Aleph, they say Alufo Shel Olam. That refers to God. And every person is created in the image of God. So we have God who fills up everything. And then we have us, and each single person has God within them. And I think that's what that small aleph represents for each individual, that bit of God, that neshama, that soul that we're put here to give full expression to. And I think when it says Vyikra el Moshe, it's because Moshe really, he was called by this inner essence at that point, the inner being, the person that he was created by, that godliness within him. He was used to connecting with God. He was so in tune with that at this point in time that his communication with God was, as we know, there'll never be someone who communicated with God like Moshe. And in order to do that, you have to be really connected with who you are, with what your purpose is. And this was Moshe. And because he had that, he was able to maintain and handle and house that communication between him and God that the nation wasn't able to, that the nation decided to shun and to say on the mountain, no, we can't handle this communication. Because they did not have that feeling, that connection, of knowing who they were and connecting with that God within. And so when it came from this externalness and they had to somehow incorporate it with who they were, which was at a distance from that, that it was difficult and they couldn't handle it. And that's why they said, no, Moshe, you do it, because Moshe was in tune. Now, because they couldn't handle it, they have a different means of connecting with God, not this direct communication that was a possibility that they were given at Mount Sinai, but which they decided they wanted to opt out. So they had to find a different way to connect slowly, externally, through things that they would do in the Mishkan. And the Mishkan was just completed. And now God was going to communicate through the Mishkan, through the in the Kodesh Kodashim, in the Aron. God would speak from between the Kruvim, from between the angels. And this was something that was totally foreign to Moshe and his understanding and his way of connecting with God. He was used to connecting from within to the bigger Aleph, to the God. And now it's something that's been diminished into one structure, and it was caused, God was calling him from without. That was a totally different experience for him. And I think that that's what we're meant to learn from this, that the people, we all have to know us people, that we have that small Aleph women. We have a purpose, we have godliness, we have something that is so powerful and so able to connect within us, and that we have that ability and we can do it if we'll only access it. We have to be in tune with who we are. We have to, do all that work, which it takes. It's not easy. Um, but if you know who you are, you know what your purpose is, then you are giving full expression to your little Aleph, which Moshe did. And the proof of that is that when Moshe was speaking to God on top of the mountain, God said to him that he has known him by name. Name is the essence of a person, that Moshe had actualized his name, his purpose, who he was meant to be. He fulfilled that. And that was what God was saying. He saw that. He understood that Moshe had fulfilled that. And that's why Moshe was able to connect on that highest of levels. So, I mean, I bless all of us that we can really know who we are, know our purpose, and connect with God, because it's such, I mean, talk about now it's Rosh Chodesh Nisan, and we're talking about going from Avtu to Cheru, from being enslaved to being a free people. The most freeing thing that we can possibly do is to rid ourselves of these shackles of things that society or people that we're around have placed upon us to be something we are not, that doesn't express our true essence, that hinders or covers or thwarts or hampers who we are. To get rid of that, to free ourselves, to be in touch with who we are, to give full expression to the godliness within, and then the world will be on its way to really something very beautiful, because we all have something unique to give. And if we all give that to one another and together, the world will be vast beauty and expression and creativity and harmonize in the way that it's meant to. So I bless all of us this Chodesh Nisan that we can do that. Get in touch with your little Aleph. It's beautiful. It's for you. Shabbat Shalom.